The year was 1966. A man walked into an art gallery in London. He was rich, famous, and adored by millions. But none of that mattered the moment he looked up and saw a piece of art that simply said yes. That man was John Lennon, and the woman behind that artwork was Yoko Ono. That moment changed everything. John Lennon, the face of the Beatles, had never seen art like Yoko's before. It was strange, bold, and thoughtful. It made him feel something he couldn't explain. That feeling drew him in. Yoko wasn't impressed by his fame. She didn't need to be. She had her own voice, her own world, and she was already making waves in the art scene. Their worlds collided. Two minds, two hearts, from two different continents, but both craving something deeper than what fame or fortune could give them. Their connection grew quietly at first. Letters, late-night talks, shared ideas. But as the bond deepened, so did the pressure. Fans didn't understand. The media turned cruel. Yoko was blamed for everything. People said she broke up the Beatles, but the truth was more complex. John had been growing restless for years. The fame, the schedules, the public life. With Yoko, he felt free to explore who he really was. In 1969, they staged their now famous bed-ins for peace. Instead of going on a honeymoon, they invited the world into their hotel room to talk about peace. Reporters came expecting scandal. Instead, they found two artists side by side in pajamas, speaking softly but firmly about ending war. Cameras rolled. Songs were sung. Their message echoed far beyond the walls of that room. John and Yoko were never afraid to be different. They recorded albums together, made experimental films, wrote poems, created art, and through it all, they stayed together through the storms. Even when critics mocked them, even when the world shouted at them, they kept choosing each other. When John stepped away from music in the mid-70s, it was to raise their son, Sean. He called it his most important work. For 5 years, he was just a dad, just a husband, just a man in love. In 1980, he returned to music with Yoko by his side. The album Double Fantasy was a celebration of their life, love, and partnership. Just 3 weeks later, the world stopped. John Lennon was gone, taken too soon, but his voice and vision lived on. And so did Yoko. She became the keeper of his legacy. But more than that, she continued the work they started. Her art, her activism, her message, still bold, still true. The story of John and Yoko is more than a love story. It is about two people who dared to live honestly, who weren't afraid to mix love with art and protest with peace. The lesson is simple. Love can be loud. Love can be quiet. But real love challenges us to grow, to speak out, and to stay true, no matter who's watching. If you believe in stories that move the world and hearts that change history, subscribe to Intimacy Factor for more lessons from the greatest true stories of the past.